They would tell me I'm too much. They would tell me that, I was weak. To not tell people when things were going on with me because I didn't want to make them uncomfortable. By me keeping in all these feelings that I was only going to become more uncomfortable, that I was only going to become unhappier. Hey lovelies! Welcome back to a brand new video. And for those of you who are new here, my channel just goes over a variety of topics that young adults go through. So if that's right up your alley, make sure to watch some of my old videos, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and click that notification bell to know when new videos come out. So, on to this week's topic. So this week's topic is a bit more serious. I think we do this thing a lot without realizing it. When something happens in our life that really affects us negatively, we tend to just keep it in, and we just tend to keep it moving, keep it pushing. And we keep doing that until those feelings become so overwhelming that you either explode or you just reach your breaking point. That overwhelming feeling might look different in a lot of people. Some people, once they reach that breaking point, they cry. Some people yell. Some people take it out on other people. And then there's some people who just, become a recluse. Now me, when I reach that breaking point, I'm more of a crier mixed with a recluse. I don't know if that's a really good combination, but hey, that's just me. And the crazy thing I think about this though is that on the outside world, everyone thinks that you're doing so great. Everyone thinks that you have your life so together and that your life is perfect, not realizing that your world is crumbling around you. And so this is what I call suffering in silence. That thing that we do when we're going through something, we don't tell people what's going on, and we just dig ourselves deeper and deeper into that hole. So I believe we suffer in silence as a defense mechanism. I think that we are so afraid that we will be a burden on other people or that people will judge us. So instead of telling people, we just try to avoid that rejection, and we just go into ourselves and try to deal with our emotions ourselves, which, as I go on, it's not really the best of ideas. And before you guys all think, oh, well, this is just all in your head, people love you, people care about you. No matter what you say, there will always be people there to support you. Well, look, personally, I have had experiences long time ago, so not now, keep really good people around me. But there was a time in my life that I did go to someone and a friend, and I would tell them things that was going on with me, and that they would tell me that I'm too much, that my emotions are too much. They would tell me that I was weak and I just need to push through it. And to hear that at such a young age, I really internalized that. I made that decision. I was like, I'm not gonna be too much then. And how I interpreted that was to not tell people when things were going on with me because I didn't want to make them uncomfortable. I didn't want to make them unhappy. Not knowing that by me keeping in all these feelings that I was only going to become more uncomfortable, that I was only going to become unhappier. So this only started years of really bad habits, like just keeping things to myself, not letting people know when something was wrong with me, just feeling like that I couldn't go to anybody with my problems, and then I would only feel more overwhelmed, and it was just a really bad pattern. And I think one thing that really led to this pattern was like, after a while, I realized that maybe I'm the only one I can depend on when it comes to these feelings, that I'm the only one who understands what I'm going through. And so I saw that I could pull myself out of these funks, so I didn't need anybody else. And that was a lie. I definitely did need people. I don't think I wanted to admit it, but as withdrawn as I would get, as quiet, I needed to know that everything was going to be okay. And I knew that the people in my life were giving me space to just kind of figure things out. And I really appreciate that, but I just think I needed the normalcy of everything. I just think I needed to know, that even though I am going through this, even though I am not talking as much or going out as much, that I could still have the people in my life that I love, and I still know that they'll be there for me. That what I'm going through doesn't change anything, that me not being there doesn't change anything. So the best way I could describe what was going on at the time is, that feeling when you're at home and you feel comfortable? That's what I needed. I needed to feel like I was at home, but instead it felt like I was walking into a stranger's house. Very uncomfortable. And the reason I say that is because I noticed as like I would withdraw, the people around me would just become very weird and very strange. And I will take a lot of responsibility for this. The thing about suffering in silence is that you're silent, so you don't communicate with people what you're going through. And I honestly, if I could take that back, I would tell people I was going through something. But at the same time, I just didn't want people to give up on me. And it was starting to feel like the more I would go through something and the more I would withdraw, that did feel like people were giving up. And that feeling was just making me feel even lonelier. So I am going to provide a challenge for people like me who do try to take on stuff by themselves. I would challenge you to find a way to express what you're going through. So this could be talking to a friend, a family member, or even if you can afford it, a therapist. But if you don't have someone to talk to, then I encourage you to express it through something like art or writing, or even maybe a physical activity. Just something that you can show the world to. By me vlogging, I feel like I just have this weight off my shoulders because I'm able to kind of express what I'm feeling and what I've gone through, and it's helped me out so much. So if that is one thing you can do, if you don't have somebody to talk to, just find another way to express it. And I will give a disclaimer: when you are telling people, just remember there is that very fine line between venting and trauma dumping. And what I define as trauma dumping is the unloading of traumatic or very heavy emotions and experiences onto someone so much that that person's mental health starts to get affected as well. And some ways that you can just avoid trauma dumping is warning the person that you're about to tell them something heavy, engaging where their mental capacity is at, and just be also letting the person know that you are there if they have any problems and listening to their problems as well. So I challenge everyone who's watching this, I even challenge myself, to just think about a friend that I haven't heard from in a while or who is withdrawing, and just say hi. And I know, like, for some people they might not reply back, but I know that they really do just appreciate that somebody is still thinking about them. Just remind them that they have someone who's always there for them, that you're a safe space to talk, anything of that nature. Just remind them that they're not a burden. Don't make them feel like they're too much, and let them know that their emotions do not mean that they're weak. So thank you, lovelies, again for watching this video. If you need anybody to talk to, I am here. We don't have to suffer in silence. Like I will say every single video that, you know, there are people who feel the same exact way you do. You are not alone in this. So I really do hope that everyone watching this enjoyed it. And then I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.